So, dosing of drugs in obese patients. Obesity is one of the major problem in US and all over the world even. Due to obesity, there is increased risk in diabetes mellitus, increased risk in development of diabetes, hypertension, cardiovascular diseases like coronary artery disease, atherosclerosis, and many other conditions. So, before going into the topic, let's discuss some basic concepts. Ideal body weight, which in short is called as IBW. IBW is the appropriate normal body weight, it is considered as the appropriate normal body weight based upon age, weight, height, and frame size. So there's an equation for calculating the ideal body weight. Ideal body weight in men is equals to 50 kg plus or minus 1 kg per every 2.5 centimeter above or 150 centimeter below in height. And for females, it's 45 kg plus or minus 1 kg per 2.5 centimeter above or 150 centimeter below in height. So the patients with body weight greater than 20% the ideal body weight are considered as obese. Okay. Usually, obesity is defined by body mass index. So, there are two equations to calculate the body mass index based upon the body weight and height. If you consider the body weight in pounds, then the formula is body weight in pounds by height in inches into 703. If you consider the body weight in kgs, then the equation is body weight in kgs by height in centimeter square into 10,000. So the classification of individuals based upon the weight: underweight, normal weight, overweight, obese, extremely obese. It is calculated or it is classified based upon the body mass index. If the body mass index is less than 18.5, then those people come under underweight. If the body mass index is in between 18.5 to 24.9, they come under normal weight. If the body mass index, people with body mass index in between 25 to 29.9, they come under overweight. For obese people, the body mass index is in between 30 to 39.9, and for extremely obese people, the body mass index is greater than 40. There are altered pharmacokinetic parameters. Let's see what are the pharmacokinetic parameters that are altered in obese patients. First thing, fatty infiltration of liver. Due to fatty infiltration of liver, changes in fatty infiltration of liver, it affects the biotransformation of drugs. As the fat content in the obese patient increases due to increase in adipose tissue. Adipose tissue is the site where it stores the fat cells. So there are changes in fatty infiltration of liver, and the liver is the main site for the biotransformation of the drugs. Biotransformation is the change of drugs from inactive metabolite to active metabolite, and these active metabolites are later excreted by hepatic clearance. Second change, CVS changes. There are cardiovascular changes occurring in obese patients which affect the renal blood flow and renal excretion. And lean to adipose tissue ratio is small due to increased body fat. As this obese people have increased body fat, the lean to adipose tissue is small, which alters the volume of distribution. So extracellular fluid and water in adipose tissue is far much more less than compared with normal muscle tissue. So due to this, there is less total body water in obese patients. Coming to the next point, lipophilic drugs have greater volume of distribution than hydrophilic drugs. Because in obese patients, as the fat content is higher than compared to the normal patient, lipophilic drugs find an easier way to penetrate into the fat cells when compared to the hydrophilic drugs. Lipophilic drugs are non-polar drugs in general, and hydrophilic drugs are polar drugs. Coming to examples like drugs like digoxin. See, digoxin is a polar drug, but when coming to the digoxin parameters, digoxin does not distribute. There is no excess distribution into the extra body spaces in obese patients, so there is no change in volume of distribution. Okay, digoxin, which is a cardiovascular drug, there is no distribution. There is distribution, but there is no excess distribution into the extra body spaces of obese patient when it is given to obese patient. So as a result, there is no change in volume of distribution. Now coming to the dose consideration, the dose is given according to ideal body weight. Okay, so the dose is given according to the ideal body weight. Normally the doses are calculated according to the ideal body weight. For ideal body weight for a 70 kg person, okay, in general. So as there is no excess distribution into the extra body spaces, there is no changes in volume of distribution, and so the dose is given according to the ideal body weight. But for polar drugs, for other polar drugs like antibiotics, for example gentamicin, the distribution into the body space of an obese patient is very much higher when compared to lean patients or normal patients. Okay, so the dosing considerations are it should be greater than ideal body weight but less than total body weight. Okay, as these drugs penetrate deeply into the body spaces of obese patient, the dose should be given greater than the ideal body weight. That is, if the ideal body weight is considered as 70 kgs, it should be given, the dose should be given greater than the ideal body weight, but it should be given less than the total body weight. Okay, And for drugs like caffeine, theophylline, lidocaine, lorazepam, these drugs distribute at same extent in lean tissue as well as in obese tissue or adipose tissue, sorry. So the dosage considerations here are: dose is given according to total body weight, because anyhow it is distributing at same extent in lean tissue and in adipose tissue. So dose should be given according to the total body weight of the particular individual. And for drugs like phenytoin, diazepam, thiopentol, they are highly lipid soluble drugs. As the lipid soluble drugs, anyhow they penetrate more into the adipose tissue, they should be given, the dose should be given greater than the total body weight. Because if you give according to the total body weight for highly lipid soluble drugs, they may lead to the subtherapeutic failure. They may lead to the therapeutic failure due to subtherapeutic concentrations, because they are highly penetrating into the adipose tissue, and the adipose tissue concentration is high. Adipose tissue levels are high in obese patients. They require more dosage of drug, so the dose should be given greater than therapeutic ideal body weight. If not, it leads to the therapeutic failure due to subtherapeutic concentrations. Okay. So these changes in dose based upon the volume of distribution modifies the clearance. It modifies the clearance and T half of the drug. So that's it about the dosing in obese patient. This is